What's good everyone, it's your boy yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 J's here, and today we're here to follow up on the story about Playboi Carti getting arrested yesterday, and within the same hour of the news of him getting arrested spreading on Reddit, there was also the news of him getting freed on bail, and although it didn't happen that fast in reality, it led to a lot of people questioning how this was possible so fast and what is next for Carti, considering he was found with a lot of nefarious things. So I wanted to break this down to you guys because a lot of this won't be common knowledge.
Like you holding me down in a wake a minute at a time. Reload the balance if needed. You know that I keep me a gun. Me and security ready to handle whatever may come. So when you see me, you don't get close. It's a simple smile and wave. 5'5" and a $140, but you still should be afraid.
So firstly, I need to explain an unspoken law within rap that you may not be familiar with, and that is that rappers, if possible, will never take the fall for something themselves, and instead they'll have people around them to take the charge so the rapper can continue on with their career as best they can whilst holding down the legal situation of the person who took the fall. Of course, there is so many variables when this happens, like the type of case, what evidence is found, etc. But people like Boosie Badass have spoken about keeping a quote-unquote fall partner around you before.
You gotta have you a fall partner. Every rapper, you gotta have you a fall partner, dog. Who's gonna say, sir, all of that is mine, sir. That's mine. If anything, that is mine, sir. Okay, let's go.
Enter Jaylan Tucker. Better known to people as J-Time Crease on Instagram, this is someone who has been around Carti since forever and is one of the OG people who are still around him today. And he wasn't only around Carti, he was just heavy in that quote-unquote SoundCloud and youth culture community. He has photos with John Ross, has photos commemorating Jack Phoenix, and to the older Carti fans like myself, he's been a familiar name and face around the scene, but to the more newer Carti fans, understandably they just aren't as familiar. So fast forward to what happened with Carti. Carti got pulled over with the aforementioned person, who I'll call Jay. Carti in this case was driving a Lamborghini with an unexpired license plate tag, which is why he was pulled over in the first place. And then from there, that's when the rest of the story unravels and the cops end up finding all kinds of things in their possession, which according to the report was 12 bags of marijuana, 3 guns, Xanax, codeine and oxycodone. Obviously finding all of this, they get arrested and taken into custody. And thanks to some savvy individuals, we've gotten the breakdown of both their charges. So firstly, let's break down Jay's and then get to Carti's. The top 2 charges refer to the drugs that they were found with, which we can see in the photo, and VGCSA stands for Violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, which according to some research I did, carries a potential penalty of 2 to 15 years in prison for a first offense and 5 to 30 years in prison for a second and subsequent offense. And then the bottom 3 charges, obviously as the name suggests, refers to the possession of firearms, which as we can see in the photo they had multiple of, and according to the report there was 3. Now compare those charges to what Carti got charged with, which was not displaying an updated decal on his license, a small amount of marijuana possession, and an improper passing of an emergency vehicle. So comparing those two, it's not exactly rocket science to see that there is a massive difference in the severity of those charges, and this speaks to what I was saying earlier and what Boosie said in that interview. In this case, Jay was the quote-unquote fall person, as Boosie referred to them, so that Carti can continue on with his career and not be too affected. Basically, they found what they found, and Carti being Carti knows that he can't afford to be held down with the more serious cases and have to go through whatever that situation will be, which could very well be jail time. So Jay held it down, took the rap for the more serious charges, and is now going through what he is going through as a result. And I've seen some speculation online from people saying that we don't know whose guns they were, we don't know whose drugs they were, saying that maybe everything was Jay's and that's why he got charged with all that he got charged for. And really, I do not buy that for a second. You have to be extremely naive to think that everything in that car was Jay's. It's very likely that some of it was Jay's, but no way was everything Jay's, and it's pretty clear to me in this case that he's taking the fall for Carti. And although Carti hasn't quote-unquote walked free, because he still has those 3 charges to deal with, which will likely result in a fine or something minor like that, for all intents and purposes, compared to the situation he would have been in if he was found in the car alone with all of this, he's essentially gotten away scot-free, and he's been extremely lucky by not facing any of those 6 charges and has saved himself any jail time from this. Understand that if he was caught with all this alone, he would likely be facing jail, and now instead Jay is the one unfortunately who will have to face those charges and has an uphill battle to stay out of jail. And although it did take a bit longer than Carti, I did take a look into the court documents and I can confirm myself that Jay has been released on bail. As you can see on the right there, he was released early morning on the 4th. Although the worst seems to be over for Carti and there are likely no super serious legal legal ramifications for Carti from this, my best wishes and hopes goes out to Jay, because really, this is just the start for him, legally speaking, and there is definitely a chance he could do jail time from this, and I hope Carti holds him down, sets him up with a good lawyer, because he really held down Carti in this case. And yeah, as I said, all the best for Jay and all the best for Carti. Fingers crossed they can get through these legal situations as best as they can. And before you finish the video, shout out to Chase Terrest from my Instagram. You asked for a shout out and you got one. Thanks to you for showing me love over my IG. If you guys haven't, man, @yadiiiigg, go follow your boy and support. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something new. I did try to go more in depth. If you haven't, make sure that like button. If you're new here, subscribe as well and turn on notifications. Also, you can see my Carti, Uzi, and Travis merch tees on screen right now. Link in the description to cop if you're interested, and there are more videos all around me right now. Make sure to check them out if you haven't.